This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A Sunday afternoon, a steamy Busch Stadium. The Cardinals wrap up the homestand. It's game number 3, the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. With Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. John Gant, the former Brave, gets the start today. He's coming off a sensational last outing against the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, he is. He looked fantastic filling in for Michael Wacha, and you see what he did. 7 innings, only 1 hit, worked around 5 walks, tons of soft contact, used his defense. I mean, everything you could ask out of John Gant, he was able to deliver against a very good Indians offense.
Mike Foltynewicz will go for the Atlanta Braves, a hard thrower and a good one for them. The Braves, this offense, they are rolling. Tough test today for Gant.
Well, the offense has been hot all season long, and they got even healthier. Acuna Jr. back in there, had the home run yesterday. This will be a tough task. John Gant's going to have to keep it all down, make very few mistakes against this tough lineup.
Mike Foltynewicz, John Gant. The Atlanta Braves, the St. Louis Cardinals, a hot, steamy afternoon here in St. Louis. Baseball is coming up. by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Sling, live TV you love, only better. Two of the top hitting first basemen in all of baseball, both in the lineup today. For the St. Louis Cardinals, Jose Martinez. He popped his 13th home run in game #2 late yesterday. On the other side, Freddie Freeman, so consistent, .316 average, 15 homers, and he's driven in 54 for the Braves. The Atlanta Braves trying to pull off a sweep here in St. Louis. It's the Braves. It's the Cardinals. John Gant against his former team. Baseball is coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Brad Thompson here in the booth. Erica Weston with us as well. 92 degrees. It feels like 102. A sweltering heat in the Midwest, and it's been this way for the better part of a week or so here in St. Louis.
It certainly has, and on a day like this for a starting pitcher, you'd like to be economical. You'd like to pound the strike zone, and that's something John Gant did very well last time out against the Indians.
Take a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. The fastball, changeup, a curve, and a slider.
Well, and he's locating with everything. I know he doesn't use the curveball and slider as much, although we saw the slider quite a bit, especially against righties against the Indians, and it was very effective. That changeup works against both righties and lefties, and he gets that fastball up there with some good arm side run.
The Atlanta Braves have taken the first two of this series. They're now 47-34, and Brian Snitker and the Braves have a 3-game lead ahead of Philly and 5 in front of Washington. His lineup, young stars and good players. Ender Inciarte, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, Tyler Flowers, Ronald Acuna Jr., Charlie Culberson, Dansby Swanson, and Mike Fultonevich. John Gant stepped into the spot that was occupied by the injured Michael Wacha. And last time out, 7 innings, allowed no runs, and 1 hit against the Cleveland Indians. Only blemish in that start, the 5 walks. but only one runner reached second base against him. First pitch, a ball, and we are underway here in St. Louis. Ender Inciarte, 2 for 9 in the series. RBI, couple of runs scored, and a double. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. A key for Gant against Cleveland in his last start. The left-handed batters, they were 0 for 15 against this right-hander.
Well, it's not shocking when you see the movement, and especially that changeup. We've talked a lot every time he pitches about that Vulcan change and how it just drops off the table. You saw it there early on. He gets back in the count with a fastball, but it's tough to pick up for a lefty, and it just drops off.
And the 2-1 pitch lifted in the air to Marcell Ozuna. He's under it. That's the first out of the ball game. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers around the horn. Ozuna, Pham, and Bader in the outfield. Carpenter, Jerko Wong, and Martinez along the infield. Francisco Pena gets the start. He's behind the plate. Against the lefties, Gant, his fastball was 54% of the time, the changeup 26% of the time. As he really neutralized those lefty bats of the Indians in a very, very good lineup.
Well, it was a good example right there. He's in a count where he's behind. He's able to throw a changeup and get a fly ball out to left field. He can use that at any time.
And that's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Braves have 2 of the 3 youngest players currently in the major leagues. And of the 3 youngest players, they all hail from the National League East. Albies, 21 years old. Acuna is 20. That's just foul. Only Juan Soto, he's 19, is younger. So these 2, they knew they were coming. They weren't sure when, but boy, they have arrived and brought some thump to this lineup.
They certainly have. They're young. This team overall is athletic, and you can see why they're so high on these guys. I mean, Albies has done a ton of damage. We saw a little bit already yesterday. And Acuna getting back into the swing of things.
Popped up into shallow left, and the catch made by Jed Jerko. First 2 retired, and it brings in Freddie Freeman. We talk so much about the eyesight and the issues that Tommy Pham has had, and the same can be said here for Freddie Freeman. And he used to wear glasses, then it was goggles. His eyes would get very dry. He had persistent dryness in the eyes, and it hurt his vision. He had LASIK surgery this offseason, and they feel that's really helped him.
Well, which is a scary thing to do if you're a hitter. It's one of those things that's one of your tools. We talk about the 5 tools all the time, but your vision is a pretty big one, and it's a big decision to jump and do something like that, but it's a good one at times. I remember doing that. I didn't have any problem seeing signs anymore after I had the LASIK.
I bet that would be tough, though. When you think about vision in the game of baseball, imperative. The shift was on, and that's the third baseman, Matt Carpenter. And the Braves go in order. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. Looking for some offense. Been shut down the first 2 games. And Matt Carpenter's at the top of this lineup. He had 8 home runs in the month of June. Tied for the most of any month of his outstanding career. Carpenter at the top of the lineup. Followed by Pham, Martinez, and Ozuna. The Jet Jerko, Harrison Bader, Colton Wong, Francisco Pena, and the pitcher batting ninth, John Gant. Mike Foltynewicz gave up a solo home run over 5 innings against the Reds on Monday. First start off the DL, consistently hitting 96 on the gun. He's got a really good fastball. And he comes in on a hot streak. Only 5 earned runs total in his last 8 starts. The Hyundai pitch arsenal.
You see the fastball there. He likes to throw it quite a bit, as he should. It's in the upper 90s usually, but his off speed is very, very effective. If the Cardinals are able to jump on some heaters, it might help him out.
2 balls and no strikes on Carpenter. Leads the club in homers and walks. He's had 11 of his 15 home runs from the leadoff spot, and that's most in baseball. The 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. Pitchers occasionally shake the glove hand as to hide the grip, not give anything away when they come set like that. Leadoff walk for Matt Carpenter.
Well, I tell you what, when you find out about tipping pitches, they let you know here pretty quickly, and hopefully you got somebody on your team that can help you out. I know Albert Pujols, Jim Edmonds, those guys were great about picking up little things. Sometimes you got to move it around, make everything look the same. The small differences of the way your hand goes in your glove makes a big difference as far as the hitter, what they're seeing. Sometimes you got to move it around.
And a strike to Tommy Pham, hitless in his last 29 plate appearances. Brad mentioned the pitches outside of the fastball. Secondary pitches, the average against him 121, third best in baseball. Breaking pitches 111, fourth best. So he's got an arsenal.
He really does, and he's got the high octane fastball to keep you off of it.
It's a ball and 2 strikes.
We saw Tommy Pham on Friday drive a couple of balls to the right side. He's worked a couple walks here recently. Obviously the hits have been tough to come by from Tommy, but you just keep thinking, keep hoping that he's one at bat away, that one pitch that gets him back in the swing of things.
Really carried the Cardinals offense first month, 5 weeks of the season. A breakdown of April, May, and June for the Cardinals center fielder. He said after the Cleveland series he had a mechanical flaw. He knows exactly what it is, but still can't get out of it. That's up and in, 3-2. Well, if you're Mike Matheny and you're struggling to get things going offensively, it's risky to an extent because Pham is struggling at the plate, but do you start the runner here?
Yeah, I think at this point with Foltynewicz throwing the ball the way he is, he's not showing you that he's pumping strikes. Except for right there, apparently.
And the first strike to Pham on the inside portion of the plate. Everything else was away. Hard thrower, Kia drive to success. Foltynewicz 96.5. Severino of the Yankees 97.7.
One thing that Foltynewicz has gotten a lot better at over the last couple of years too is not just trying to throw the ball through a wall. When you mentioned his off-speed pitches already and the average against them, he's learned how to pitch. He's not just a thrower anymore.
That's up and into Jose Martinez. Home run number 13 last night. That was his 84th hit of the year, which matched his entire total from a season ago. Two balls and no strikes. It's the bucket hat giveaway. And this is the perfect day to have it. Folks are putting those in use.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a giveaway that's used as much right off the bat. I mean, we do some great ones around here. The Cardinals do it right. But this is being utilized fresh out of the gate. You had yours on earlier, actually.
I did.
Looked good.
I always have my cowboy hat ready as well. I had the all-over print shirt when I got here to the ballpark.
You pulled that off well, by the way.
Yeah, it's
like I said, some people can't pull that off. I had a tough time, but you look great.
It's no big deal, Brad.
It's what you do.
3-1. Well, Fultonevich struggling here to find strikes.
He is for sure. I was just talking about how he's turned into more of a pitcher, but you see him on his fastball trying to do a little bit too much, and then when you fall behind a couple of times, you try to pinpoint things instead of just going free and easy and throwing it. Looks like he's battling himself a little bit.
And the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball that's hit to short. Swanson, Albies over to Freeman. Double play, 6-4-3. That was the first time a Cardinal swung the bat in the inning. Molina made Cardinal history, career game number 1800. More on that. Let's check in with Erica.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, 1,800 games in the book for Yadier Molina and a well-deserved day off. Of course, as you mentioned, he becomes just the 5th player to reach that milestone with the Cardinals franchise. I spoke with several of the guys this morning in the clubhouse about the impact that he has had here, and Jose Martinez clearly has a special bond with him. He said he's traveled to Venezuela with him to help with the kids, adding he's the best player they've ever had, and he's happy he's his teammate and his friend, and he wishes he could play a lot more because he needs him. Dan.
It's an amazing run that Yadi has put together. He's in year 1 of a 3-year contract extension. In my book, he's already a Hall of Famer, but things like this add to the resume. And the amazing thing is, you look at the graphic, and those that have played 1,800 or more, and only 5 have done it. He's done it as a catcher, which is incredible.
It is so hard to have longevity at that position. He still does it as good as anybody in the game. His bat has gotten better and better, and he helps others around him get better. I mean, he's just a complete player.
2-1 the count on Nick Markakis. 5th inning grand slam yesterday. The 4th grand slam of his career. Leads their club in average at .326. Scooter Gennett, Albert Almora Jr. at .332 to lead the National League. 3-1 the count. The Braves looking for a sweep of the Cardinals for the first time since October of 2015. And that was at their ballpark. And a ground ball backhanded by Wong. Jump, throw, what a play. Colton Wong.
Got a 3-1 count right here. John Gant throws a nice changeup, and Colton Wong just doing what he does. We talk about the athleticism all the time. Has to range quite a bit, makes the jump throw. Nice little short pick right there by Martinez as well. That's a nice 3-1 changeup right there. It's great to be able to have that in the bag where you know you can throw it for a strike at any time, and you know you have the defense behind you to get it done.
Here's Flowers, the catcher for Atlanta. You may recall in that series, it was the final time the Cardinals were at Turner Field, and at the very end of the season they had wrapped up the division in Pittsburgh in a hard-fought series. Last 3 games meaningless in terms of the standings, and the Cardinals were swept by the Atlanta Braves. You talk about doing damage with runners on. The Braves, one of the best teams in all of baseball at doing that. Last night they went 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And there's a base hit for Flowers down into the left field corner. Remember, he had to be removed from the ball game on Friday with cramping, and back in there as a starter today. Let's turn to Brad Thompson's Toyota keys to the game.
Well, for John Gant, make it yours. We all know he's in the rotation filling in for Michael Wacha, but he was fantastic last time out, and these are opportunities. He's done a great job with them so far. Make this spot yours. And for the offense, attack early. We talked about Fulton Evans, the fact that he loves his fastball, but his off speed is good. You can get to his heater, hopefully get a few runs on him early on, but attacking the fastball is going to be big for the Cardinals today.
So 1 out and a runner at second base. Acuna at the plate. Little flare out to shallow left. Ozuna coming on. He'll make the catch. 2 outs, and the batter will be Charlie Culberson. This is his 31st start of the year. He's been in left field, third base, shortstop. He's at third today. The Dodgers traded Culberson, Adrian Gonzalez, Scott Kazmir, and Brandon McCarthy for Matt Kemp. Padres paying some of that salary. The Dodgers as well, so they wanted to get him off the books, potentially open up some salary space for next year in free agents. There's strike 1.
Nice breaking ball right there. Just start the count. You're going against Gant. You think about the fastball and the changeup, but he throws that thing in there. It's a different wrinkle.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it gets away from Pena to the backstop. And Flowers advancing to third. Gant was originally drafted by the Mets in 2011. Then traded to the Atlanta Braves, a deal that involved Juan Uribe and Kelly Johnson. Came to St. Louis for Jaime Garcia. Cardinals got Gant, Chris Ellis, and Luke Dykstra. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Soft liner and a base hit. A 2-out base hit by Culberson. He's on his way to second base, and he's in with a double. 1-0 Atlanta.
Gant tries to get in here with a fastball running inside, and Culberson just does a good job of getting the barrel to it, keeps his hands in right there. And we've seen already in this inning, the Braves do not let too many fastballs that are around the zone go by for a strike. I mean, they are aggressive, they are hacking. So if you're throwing heaters, they got to be very well located.
So be an intentional walk of Dansby Swanson to bring in the pitcher, Fultonevich, who is 2 for 26. Runners at first and second. And the first pitch is popped up to the right side. Martinez over and out of room. Strike one. Michael Foltynewicz and his wife and young baby Jet. That's how you get ready for a start.
That's right. That's a cool family moment right there.
Foltynewicz grew up a Cardinals fan. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Like the glasses on the baby too.
Well, you got to keep them shaded, right?
Yeah.
And they look good. There's a cool factor. Plus, you're taking good care of them. So,
I think more it's about taking care of them than the cool factor. But
Very
that's,
true.
hey, whatever way you want to look at it.
look, you can have it both ways, and young Jet has it both ways. Pretty neat picture right there. You saw earlier we panned to Foltynewicz's glove as he was getting ready for a pitch. Well, you saw his son's name on his glove as well, bringing his family out there to the mound with him every time.
And it's a swing and a miss, so strikeout. That's the first for Gant. Culberson the double, and it's 1-0. Slugger bobblehead is coming up. That's on July 14th. Cardinals.com/promotions. To Saturday, the Adam Wainwright Silver Slugger bobblehead. We had those shots earlier of all the fans, the kids and the adults with their hats and the giveaway. That's put together by Megan Eberhardt. Believe me, she's already in her department thinking about next year and some of the great giveaways. But look at all the hats that are being used by the fans. It's a really hot day, obviously, here in St. Louis. But Megan to be commended for all the hard work that she does throughout the year.
Megan and her crew do a great job, and I was looking there at that bobblehead of Adam Wainwright, and he's had a couple throughout his years. Do you know how happy that makes him, having one of him hitting? I mean, he talks about it all the time anyhow, how great of a hitter he is. He won the award, but now he has the bobblehead to commemorate it. You know that pumps him up.
You had a bobblehead?
I did.
For the 06 team,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, we did the Bud Bashes, and got a chance to have one of those. Unfortunately, or right on par for me, the game was rained out. So my kids got to come out with me, throw out a first pitch, and got to enjoy it for a few minutes, and then the rain came.
That's great. Here's Marcell Ozuna. You're saying that just kind of sums up your career?
That's about right. Yeah, it was about. It felt good. We got to hang out. We had a good time, and then it rained.
You're tough on yourself. You had a good career. That's it out of play. 0-2 on Ozuna. Foltynewicz in that first inning, 15 pitches, only 5 were strikes. Had a 4-pitch walk of Carpenter. Both Pham and Martinez got to 3-ball counts. And eventually Jose Martinez grounded into a double play. Mentioned that the right-hander of the Braves grew up a big Cardinals fan, and he idolized one Albert Pujols, even though he's a pitcher. Said he loved coming to the ballpark and seeing Albert growing up. And Pujols with some history last night. 632nd double, which is now tied with David Ortiz, 10th all-time. And Albert becomes the only player in the history of baseball in the top 10 in doubles and home runs. There's a strikeout of Ozuna. It's a good defensive club, the Atlanta Braves. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers around the horn. Acuna Jr. in left, Inciarte in center. Markakis is in right. Culberson, Swanson, Albies, Freeman along the infield, and Flowers behind the plate. By the way, Pujols 626 home runs now. This year batting .246. 12 long balls. He's driven in 43.
I know the numbers currently for Albert Pujols aren't anything like we got a chance to see here. What we saw here was special. You might not see better baseball in a period of time ever in the birds on the bat that we got to see with Albert Pujols. But still, even being the guy that he is right now, he is not a guy a pitcher wants to face in a spot. He's just not. I know they have Mike Trout and Upton and a lot of guys that can get it done. They don't want to face Albert in a big spot because he's a big player.
We're hoping that officially Albert Pujols will be here next year in interleague play.
Already, huh? Nice work.
It's been way too long. I'll say this, though, in a way, maybe it's a good thing. If it would have happened immediately after he left, the feelings, I think, have died down. You know, now it's kind of like, well, he gave you an unbelievable run of baseball and a couple of championships and memories. And folks have moved on.
Well, it will be quite the reception whenever it does in fact happen. That is for sure.
Back-to-back strikeouts and 3 for Foltynewicz.
Foltynewicz just climbing the ladder. He knows that Jed Jerko likes the fastball a lot. He gives it to him in an unhittable spot. 97 above the zone. That's going to be tough for anybody to catch up with.
There's Harrison Bader. He has doubled in his last 2 games. Hit safely in 5 of the last 6, and another start in right field. Are you okay with Bader wearing number 48?
Well, he did ask me, and I told him, I gave him my blessing. I said, you can wear it. You wear it well. Now, I think as far as just shape and muscle mass, I feel like we're in the same area.
Yeah.
So it works.
He's not quite filling it up like you did.
Well, I filled it out in a different way. But he looks good in the 48, especially the way he's been swinging it recently. I just love watching him play. I love the way he goes about it every day. Got a chance to talk to him before he was playing all the time about keeping himself ready, and he said he prepares like he's going to. He's going to be in the lineup every day, and when it happens, he'll be ready.
That's fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One thing you know, he comes to the ballpark ready to play and brings some excitement, energy, speed, hustle. You appreciate those things.
Well, that's the thing about his game, is he can change it in so many different ways. So maybe it's coming in as a pinch runner. Maybe it's a defensive replacement late. Maybe he's starting the whole game for you, does something with his legs or with his bat. But he can always make an impact day in and day out. It's nice to have a roster where you have pieces like that.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. The check swing, and he went. So he strikes out the side. Here at the bottom of the second, 1-0 Atlanta.
heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
The top of the lineup as the third inning rolls in, and a hot day here in St. Louis. Ender Inciarte, Ozzie Albies, and Freddie Freeman for the Braves. John Gant, last start, became the last Cardinal with 7+, 1 hit, no runs, and 5 or more walks. Now think about that. 7+, only 1 hit, no runs. He walks 5, and yet only one of those runners got to second base. So it was just a tremendous start. The last Cardinal to have that line was Silvio Martinez, which will ring a bell for some Cardinal fans. It was 1978. And he made his major league debut on 3 days rest. Martinez did. Here's a 1-1 pitch. After throwing a no-hitter. So he threw a no-hitter in the minor leagues, gets called up. The spot was cleared when the Cardinals traded Eric Rasmussen to San Diego for George Hendrick. They needed that spot filled. Martinez gets it. That's into left center, and Pham makes the catch. So he makes his debut. What's he do then? Throws a one-hitter.
It's a pretty good couple of days for him.
I would say so. That's a pretty good week.
Man.
Silvio Martinez.
And I'll tell you what, it was really impressive what John Gant was able to do. You saw the 5 walks, but remember that Indians lineup is tough, and there are some guys where you're just going to keep trying to challenge and try to get him out on your pitch, and you know when you have his stuff that maybe you're just able to get a ground ball the next time and maybe double somebody up. We saw a little bit of that.
And a grounder that's hit to Wong. It brings in Freddie Freeman, grounded into the shift his first time up. They have built around Freeman. We talked about it on Friday night. So many teams over the years calling about the services of Freeman. Can we get him? Is he available? On his way to a third All-Star appearance. Tremendous player. You talked about his age the other day. He's still young.
That amazes me that he's only 28. I feel like he's been in the league over a decade already, but that's the impact that he's had. And now you surround him with even more young talent. We just had the graphic earlier. You've got 2 guys in Albies and Acuna, 20 and 21 years old. This team has got a chance to be very good for a long time.
1 ball and 1 strike.
The Cardinals in this series, they've ran into some troubles against the Braves, but they've done a very good job with Freddie Freeman. The shift has been quite effective.
But there's finally length in the lineup and protection around him.
It is huge, and a lot of times it's difficult with a young lineup when you have guys like Dansby Swanson, Acuna, and you see the shift here. When you have all of these guys there, young guys oftentimes are streaky. It's hit and miss, but for the most part this year, the young guys, and when healthy, Acuna obviously just coming off the DL on Friday, they've all been swinging it. They're all feeding off of each other, and this team has arrived a little bit earlier than I think most have expected. And Brian Snitker and company have done a very good job with this group.
Spoiled by Freeman. Hit a ball in game 1 that hit off the end of the bat against the shift. A cue shot up the third base line.
There's beating the shift and then there's getting lucky. I think that would be the latter.
Yes, sir. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Always find these interesting, and it does give you a good idea that he's going to pull the ball more times than not. 42% near that second base area.
Well, he dropped it in that 6% on the one that you were talking about. Yeah. And like you said, full on hack, just a squibber that went that way.
Here's a 1-2. That's right where Pena wanted it. He said bounce it, put it in the dirt, see if we can't get him to chase. 2-2.
You got to be very careful with Freddie Freeman. That breaking ball for a strike, especially that one is coming down and into his bat. That was a perfect spot to do it, and maybe you elevate now with the fastball.
8th pitch of the at bat right here, the 2-2. Hits it the other way. Ozuna over and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for John Gant. Midway through 3, and it's 1-0. He's part of the crew here at Busch Stadium. That's Lucas Hackman with the Rally Cat last year. Ow! Then today, watch out as Lucas is putting the finishing touches on the Vote STL. There he is behind. Uh-oh, duck!
Come on!
Poor Lucas.
Oh, I mean, it is a dangerous job. All right, the cat one you kind of expect. That's what cats do at that point when you have a scared cat and you're trying to corral it, which was an unbelievable job he did last year. And we know how much Rally Cat took off. That was outstanding. Lucas did fantastic. He's just trying to put a Vote STL in. Poor man's doing it, just walking back. Nice first pitch. I got a feeling that Lucas will be on TV again today.
I would not have blamed him if he said, you know what, I'm done. Just drop that.
It's been a good run.
I'm out. Yeah. Heck of a run. Thanks, everybody. I'm sensing maybe a Lucas Hackman bobblehead where on one arm he's got the cat, but he's ducking. And then the other arm is a first aid kit.
I like this.
It's got legs.
We were just talking about the great giveaways they do here. That might just work.
There's a second walk by Poltanevich.
Jeff Suppan.
Don't see a lot of 37s with the exception of Keith Hernandez.
Feel like you should see more of those.
But Soup is here. And
Soup was instrumental in that 06 run.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible against the Mets.
MVP of the NLCS. Also outdueled Roger Clemens in 2004 in Game 7 of the NLCS.
He was a gamer.
There is Francisco Pena, his first hit last night since May 29th. Mentioned the outstanding career accomplishment for Yadier Molina, playing in career game number 1800 last night, all with the Cardinals.
We talked a minute ago about Harrison Bader and how he works every day to be ready for the opportunity whenever it comes. And the opportunities have come more and more now. Well, Francisco Pena does the same exact thing. He works his tail off. He catches as many guys as he possibly can to get a feel for them. And when he gets out there, he's always prepared.
Runner goes, and it's hit out of play. Well, the Cardinals offense in a tough stretch right here in terms of the pitchers that they're facing. Bieber of Cleveland in Game 3. This is a good jump by Wong. 6 innings, 1 earned. Tehran Friday night, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. And then the lefty last night, 6 2/3, no runs, 4 hits. Tough stretch And it will not get any easier going to Arizona after the ball game today.
That's why it's so important. If you find yourself in an inning where there's an opportunity, you have to capitalize, because currently they're just few and far between. On Friday, Tehran in the first inning, you had a chance, had him on the ropes. He was struggling a little bit, and then he was able to get right back into things.
It was a late jump on a quick pitch, and Wong, good play to get back safely to first. Fultonevich works very quickly anyway, and this was especially quick.
Just gets that bad jump right there. Does a very good job though of just hitting the brakes and getting back right away. Not trying to just get in a rundown and make something happen. Get your butt back.
He's running again, and a throw down to second. Stole a base for Colton Wong, his second of the year. It's strikeout number 5.
Running on a breaking ball right here. Pena trying to put it in play. Wong getting a good enough jump though. Be able to get this one.
Brings in Gant. Gant is 0 for 9 with 1 sacrifice this year. And strike 1. Fultonevich, originally drafted by Houston, 19th overall in 2010. Then he was sent to Atlanta. Couldn't put it together with the Astros. Was in their bullpen. Atlanta traded away Evan Gattis. In the 2010 draft, Bryce Harper was number 1. The Cardinals selected number 25 overall. And they got a third baseman out of Arkansas. You may recall the name of Zach Cox. Traded him to the Marlins for Edward Mujica. Mujica, if you don't know, is actually in the minor leagues with the Cardinals. He's at Memphis. He's appeared in 28 games and has 7 saves. Comes full circle.
It really does. It's amazing too, baseball, the transactions, all of the guys that are kind of around you. You stop watching them day to day, you don't realize where they are. Turns out they're a phone call away, and a guy like Mujica.
And a strikeout of Gant. First time through the lineup in 6 strikeouts. Comes in with an ERA of 2.14, and this is in all of baseball. It's in the top 3 of the National League, top 5 of baseball. He's given up 1 run or less in 10 starts. So you get the idea. This guy's really good.
He really is. You mentioned Albert Pujols being his favorite player, his favorite pitcher growing up. Justin Verlander just ahead of him on this list. He picked a couple of good ones to watch and look after,
I'd say. Here's Carpenter, who walked on 4 pitches. Second time through the lineup. There's so much data and info. Last night, Luke Weaver, who, by the way, leads the Cardinals in strikeouts, which should not be overlooked, but he's having a real issue getting through the lineup a 3rd time. And unfortunately, pitch counts have been high for him, so doesn't go deep into games. 3rd time through the lineup, comes in the 4th or the 5th, and that's when he runs into trouble. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Carpenter. Instead, time is called. Now, I know a lot of fans are talking about Dakota Hudson,
who's great, and he's throwing the ball really well.
And he's not on the 40-man roster. And John Mozeliak basically said, look, there's Memphis, there's Major League Baseball. And we understand Dakota is doing well. He may push him, his way onto this roster, but right now, more than likely, that does not happen. And we're going to stick with Luke Weaver and, maybe look at some different things to buy him some rest or whatever the case may be. But Luke Weaver, we're going to stick with him.
And you mentioned the struggles the third time around. The goal is not to get him out of there before the third time. The goal is making some adjustments so he's able to get through it the third time around. So whether that be more efficient early so you have more left, maybe it's mixing it up a little bit more. It always comes down to execution of pitches, which he struggled with a third time around yesterday. Made a few mistakes up, and the Braves, who are very, very aggressive, made him pay for it.
He's swinging a miss.
Still got to face it.
3 strikeouts in the inning. 7 already through 3.
Cardinals trail the Atlanta Braves by a score of 1-0. Today is Transplant Awareness Day, and it was personal for 2 fans in attendance this afternoon. Scott Hopfinger and Beth Larson threw out the first pitch this afternoon, marking the first time they had met. Scott donated his kidney to the 29-year-old mother and resident of Springfield, Missouri. Now, Scott is an altruistic organ donor, meaning that he just decided one day to donate, and it's rare that the donor and the recipient actually get to meet. Beth had been waiting for about 2 years, so now Scott is a diehard Cubs fan. He hails from Illinois, and Beth, of course, a Cardinals fan from Missouri. They had been messaging prior to meeting today, and Scott joked they both have a little bit of Cubs fan in them now, and vice versa with the St. Louis Cardinals. An emotional reunion for the two. Dan.
Matter of fact, I know Scott, and he works. Yep, he was brought from Chicago to St. Louis. Erica is exactly right. He is a huge Cubs fan, and he works at Footwear Unlimited, which is a wonderful place here in town. Employs so many people, a privately held company, but he was brought in to help the company. And I do a golf tournament, as you know, and I brought in items working with them on their golf tournament, and I brought in a Joe Madden signed baseball, and you would have thought I was Santa Claus. It was Christmas morning for him.
He was so happy.
He was fired up. But he got the Madden ball, and obviously has done some remarkable things in saving lives, and that is an incredible story. There's a ground ball and a couple of hops hit to Jose Martinez, and Nick Markakis is retired. It's a small world, man.
It is, for sure. And I don't care where your allegiance lies as a sports fan. It's about who you are as a human being. And he's doing some pretty incredible things there. Probably a very special moment for those two to meet.
Amazing. Here's Tyler Flowers. Doubled into the left field corner, first time up.
Flowers, a lot like the rest of the Braves, hunted a fastball and got that double. Got one up in the zone he was able to get his bat to.
And a ground ball that's hit left side to Carpenter. And he makes the play. Ronald Acuna. When he was signed, Brad, he was 5'10", 160 pounds. That was July 2nd of 2014. The highest offer he got was $100 grand. Now, you think in this day and age of baseball, where the minimum salary is over $500,000 and high draft choices are given a ton of money, tomorrow it's the international signing period. As Acuna put his hands up and looked back into the dugout and the home plate umpire. But Acuna and Albies, guys that they took a chance on, the boys, it paid off for the Atlanta Braves.
Baseball teams are built in a lot of different ways. You've got your free agency, you've got the guys that you draft, the international signings, and sometimes you got to put some faith, and you have to trust your scouts. You got to trust your eyeballs, the guys that are there putting in the work all the time, seeing these guys, and they've done a very good job with the group that they've signed.
Also, the academies in the Dominican as Carpenter shades from the sun and makes the catch. Cardinals, by the way, have just opened up their second academy in the Dominican. Coming up, Jose Martinez. July 13th will take home a cowboy hat featuring the bird on the bat logo, courtesy of Brown and Crouppen. July 13th, Cardinals and Reds. Cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Tommy Pham, 2, 3, and 4 in the Cardinals lineup. So the Cardinals adding a second team to their Dominican Academy, trying to find that young talent. You mentioned, how do you look at a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid and project him as a major leaguer? And you take chances, you look at bloodlines, look at competition, look at the body. Will he grow into a body, get bigger? But those academies are very important too. Then there's a familiarity with the club that maybe wants to sign that particular player. And Pham sends a fly ball into left center, and the catch is made by Acuna.
You can go out to any random little league field and you can tell, like, you can see who's got a little bit of athletic ability. Well, you kind of do a little bit of the same there, and then you try to nurture it a little bit, because the ability in the Dominican, there is phenomenal baseball players all over the place, but then you try to fine tune it a little bit and you try to help them in that way, and hopefully you're able to help your organization in the meantime. I was amazed getting a chance to go play winter ball there years ago, of just everybody. It seems like every kid out there is playing ball.
Yep.
And that's what they love. That's what the passion is. and you got to appreciate it. You know, I drive home sometimes and I go crazy in my neighborhood. I know a ton of kids are living there, but I never see any of them. That's all they do out there is play ball.
Kids in the Dominican, Venezuela, like a Jose Martinez. Kubota Power Stats. Jose Martinez in the month of June hit .313 with 8 home runs. Mentioned it does not get any easier starting tomorrow night. Cardinals begin a road trip, 3 with Arizona, 4 with the San Francisco Giants, 2 with the White Sox. Carlos Martinez and Robbie Ray tomorrow. Jack Flaherty, Zach Greinke on Tuesday. Greinke had 5 wins in the month of June. Miles Michaelis and Patrick Corbin on Wednesday. And it looks like Madison Bumgarner would go in the game on Saturday for the Giants.
Oh, good.
The Giants won 7-0 last night. That's their 4th road series win of the year. They had a total of 3 of those a season ago. That's fouled back just below us. Our Budweiser, what's on tap, and the remaining schedule before the break. Long road trip, then 3 with the Reds, and then the All-Star break, and then 5 with Chicago coming out of the break at Wrigley Field.
All the games are important. We know that. But this stretch right here, I mean, this can define your season. The last couple of weeks and the next couple of weeks.
Might define your trade deadline.
Certainly.
3-2 the count on Martinez. Bounced into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first. And a strikeout. That's 8 already for the Braves starter, Fultonevich.
Well, you see 3-2 pitch right here by Fultonevich. Goes with the slider, and it is a good one. You know that Martinez is going to be aggressive right there. Starts it on the outer third and ends up right on the black. Even if he doesn't swing, that's a strike. Very nice pitch by Fultonevich.
Here's Ozuna at his 26th multi-hit game. Last night he's got 26 of those to lead the Cardinals. This year the Cardinals, and they're on their way, they've had 12 games of 13 or more strikeouts. And they're right about at their total of what they did a year ago in that department, 13 or more strikeouts.
Which you realize that the game is trending that direction, which love it or hate it, it doesn't matter. But if you have the payoff, if you're getting bang for your buck, then it's okay. If you're hitting the home runs, and then it's fine. But that's been a problem for the Cardinals. A lot of these games are getting those strikeouts, but not having the payoff on the back end.
March, April, and May, Ozuna hit .260, then .333 in the month of June.
TV, by the way, does not do Marcell Ozuna justice of how big that guy is. He is very strong. Got a chance to ran into him in the clubhouse today. Fortunately, I didn't physically run into him, or I would have come out worse for the wear. Just a big dude, strong, compact. And we've seen already a lot of that power he's got.
2-2. Fultonevich has made a couple of starts against the Cardinals. Last year, combined 13 earned in 6 2/3.
Where's that guy?
Not here today. And the 2-2. There's a base hit, the first of the afternoon off the bat of Marcell Ozuna. Ugly last year for the righty against the Cardinals. His first ever starting assignment was against St. Louis.
Growing up a Cardinal fan and all the success that he's had against other clubs, you know that had to kill him to struggle against the team that he grew up loving.
Now, you're a Vegas guy. no major league team there, but did you have a favorite team growing up?
So I rooted for whoever was on a lot. So that turned out being the Cubs and the Braves quite a bit on their TV stations. And fortunately for me, I grew up being a Vegas guy, so Greg Maddux was on both of those teams. And then the A's in their heyday. So when it was Bash Brothers, and I got kind of excited when I saw Walt Weiss downstairs. Like I just enjoyed the A's back in the day. But yeah, basically anybody that was on TV. So come home from school, if those guys were on, I was watching.
What was it like then pitching for Tony La Russa?
It was incredible.
Scary,
yeah, incredible. But yeah, you know all about him coming into it. And like I said, following those teams, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, and then getting a chance to play for him was kind of a surreal experience. Walking into his office the first day and knowing that I was a part of that team, you know, it's pretty neat.
Jerko struck out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone back in the second. Foltynewicz has thrown 24 more pitches than Gant. They had that mound visit. I'm sure that was just about, hey, catch your breath, relax. But it is a hot day here in St. Louis. The 2-0 pitch.
Nice slider right there in a fastball count. But he has been laboring a little bit. I mean, his stuff has been fantastic, but he's gotten deep into some counts. And hopefully the Cardinals, they get deep into their bullpen at some point today.
Which has been a sore spot. Wouldn't know it in this series, but it has been. Cardinals have had runs in the 9th innings of the first 2 games, but not before then. It's been hit and miss. The 2-1. Foltynewicz almost looks like, physically, it's not the velocity, but the body mannerisms. I think he's frustrated with the strike zone, but running out of gas almost, as if to say the body's cooked.
Executes a nice one right there, though.
I mean, even look at the body language there.
He's you throwing 100 mile an hour, if there are 100 degrees out there, it feels like it. On the field, you're exerting a lot of energy. It takes a ton out of you.
3-2 the count. He's gone with sliders on these 3-2s, and he does so there, but missed. And it's a walk, his 3rd of the afternoon. So the 2-out base hit by Ozuna has started a little rally here. That's Chuck Hernandez, the Braves pitching coach. 2nd season as a pitching coach. He was also a minor league coordinator for the Braves. He's been with the Angels, the Devil Rays, the Tigers. He was also in Miami briefly. I think their dugout seeing the same thing that we're seeing. A guy that, I mean, you hope he's not getting lightheaded or.
Well, you just saw him right there, hands on his knees. He said the weather can get to you quickly. We saw on Friday Flowers have the cramps. But Foltynewicz is exerting a lot out here. And if you're Harrison Bader, after a base hit and a walk, you know he's probably trying to get ahead right here. I'd be hunting fastball. First one you see near the zone, just come out of your shoes.
So 2 outs and 2 on. Went after that pitch.
Yes, he did, and as he should right there. This is a place where you can do some damage. The Cardinals need that big knock to get back into it. Foltynewicz trying to be around the zone. He might see a diet of sliders here now, though.
No activity for the Braves in their pen. Foltynewicz is due up 3rd. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's got the long sleeves. He's got the beard. That can't be comfortable on a hot day.
That's why I didn't grow out a beard.
And you've never shaven.
Also true.
That's hit out of play. BJC Healthcare difference maker this series. Good numbers for Bader. And when he starts, he has produced. In the hole here, 1-2.
Harrison Bader doesn't get cheated very often in his swings. I mean, he is hacking, and once again, I mean, his playing time is coming at the cost of Dexter Fowler. Got to figure out a balance there, but Harrison Bader's been doing a good job with the opportunity that's been given.
Well, you're also getting to the point, and you're now past the halfway point of the season. You got to put your best team forward, whatever player that may be.
Certainly. But you also have to strike that balance of having guys ready, because you can't have a guy just sitting on the bench that never gets any ABs. It's hard for that guy to thrive as well.
Voltonevich looking back into the home plate umpire. Gabe Morales frustrated with the strike zone. Back-to-back hitters. Runners off with a pitch, and he struck him out. He's gone with that slider 4 different times on a 3-2 pitch. All right, Jimmy, thank you. Home run number 21 for Machado. He's tied with Nelson Cruz, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout with 24. Ramirez, we saw him earlier this week at Cleveland. He's got 24. And J.D. Martinez with 25. Finished up last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks and then signed with Boston in the offseason. Leads the American League. Voltonevich went straight back to the AC as he came off the mound. He is due up third for the Braves. Culberson, by the way, 10 career home runs. 4 of them have been walk-off homers. 2 of those 4 this year. One of those players, by the way, that has had 4 walk-off homers, Bobby Bonilla. And today is Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, and it's good to be Bobby Bo on July 1st.
How long is that going for?
Well, here's what happened. He was owed $5.9 million by the Mets, the contract in 2000. What they did is they extended him through 2035 and paid 8% annual interest on that, so it adds up to $29.8 million. And so every July 1st, the Mets are paying him $1.1 million.
It's worked out quite well for Bobby Bo.
Oh, I'd say so. That's a pretty good deal. Second walk issued by John Gant. First one was intentional. Voltonevich just walked out to the on-deck circle. He looks spent.
Kind of hot in those beards, chances are.
He's breathing hard.
He's throwing a lot of pitches, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting right here at 76 pitches after his 4 innings of work.
See, a guy like Gant does not have an undershirt on and just got the uniform top. Voltonevich, long sleeves, the beard. Well, I don't know. I mean, if I'm seeing this and I'm Brian Snitker, I got to have somebody at least thinking about getting up potentially in that bottom of the 5th inning.
Chances are you've already called down. You've told somebody to be moving, be ready just in case. You got to be able to jump on it. This is a tight ball game. They have a tough schedule down the stretch as well. They've already put themselves in a really good position. If you're the Braves, you don't want to let an outing like this slip away either.
He had 28 pitches in the bottom of the 4th. 16 of the 28 were 95 miles per hour or above. Here's a 0-1 pitch. How would you describe the Vulcan changeup? You have a ball in your lap, literally in your lap.
That's
so
right. That's where
now
I
you
keep
picked it up.
Yeah. No, so it is so a changeup is such a feel pitch, and I'm sure that he went through a lot of different changeups before he got to this Vulcan grip, but it just splits it up so well, takes the velocity off due to the grip, and the grip ends up doing all the work for him.
The fly ball lifted into right field.
One of the hardest things with a changeup is sometimes you're feeling for something and you throw it too hard, or maybe it doesn't get the action that you want. Well, John Gant found him one that worked, and the Vulcan grip is not one that everybody can throw. A lot of people can't spread their fingers the way that he does, but man, that thing just tumbles when he throws it out there, and it looks very comfortable in his hand.
Kind of resembles a forkball or split finger fastball.
It does. Yep, just getting it in between your middle finger and your ring finger as opposed to your ring and index.
Yep. But you have
middle and
long
index.
fingers, don't you?
I've got otter paws. It would be hard for me to throw.
What do you have?
Otter paws, like little baby hands. They're tiny. It's going to be tough for me to throw that. It's good for a sinker. But these otter paws don't work well for a Vulcan.
I get it.
Yeah. You ever seen an otter? Little hands?
Oh, I've seen plenty of them. I just never thought I'd talk about it with the Vulcan changeup.
Yeah. Never know where baseball is going to go. Full circle, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Voltonevich will be asked to sacrifice. He has 2 of those this year. Now swinging, and nothing in 2. Best thing for him might be just get back to the dugout in the cold air.
That swing looked a lot like his laboring last inning. Kind of took a lot out of him right there. But battling the heat the way that he is and battling himself that past inning, he's throwing the ball really, really well.
And he pushed it foul, so a strikeout for Gant. His second of the day. MLB at Bat, your #1 Cardinals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Home screen icons, features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. The top of the lineup and Ender Inciarte. He's flied to left and lined out to center. First pitch taken for a ball. John Gant, 20 games for the Cardinals, 7 starts, 1 win. As he has been up and down, back and forth from Memphis this season. And as you said, maybe a chance to really seize a spot in this rotation.
It really is. I mean, he's been provided a few opportunities. He's done well with them, whatever the role may be. And I know it's not a luxurious role to have, is the guy that's kind of the swing guy. If you need a few innings out of the bullpen, he could do that. You need a spot start here and there, he can do that. But it is very valuable for a club to have a guy like that. And his future may very well be in the rotation for a long time. But currently, being able to bounce around, that is huge for the club. It's a great luxury to have.
There's a 1-0. Fly ball sent to shallow left field. Ozuna with the catch. The Braves have left 3 on. We move to the bottom of 5, and it's 1-0 Atlanta. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, Guardians of Childhood. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
You think they got any otters out there?
No. It's a shot at Forest Park from our good friend Tony West. The hot day here in St. Louis. The pitchers comparison, I think this is going to be a fascinating inning to see Fultonevich. Just what's left in the tank. He looks gassed.
He certainly does. He's throwing the ball really, really well, but it's taken everything out of him. Starts off Colton Wong, though, with a nice breaking ball. Maybe after an inning like that where he was raring up, talking about all the fastballs that he threw over 95, maybe you ease back a little bit this inning. Throw a little more off speed. Locate down in the zone, because the way that he's throwing the ball and the success that he's having, you'd like to keep him out there as long as possible.
Here's a 1-1. How do guys stay cool on a day like this? Well, in the dugout, they've got the fans, and right by Mike Matheny, there's just a wind tunnel that blows up of really cold air. That's why you'll see the players duck in there. And then how about out in the bullpen?
Well, kind of the same thing. You can also, especially on the home side, you're able to go behind, and it's air conditioned, in the stadium, so that helps out quite a bit to be able to get out of it there. You have the big fans, but it's difficult. It's difficult once you get out there.
Wong on a 3-1 pitch to center, and the catch is made by Inciarte.
So you get a pop up here, Fultonevich right after he threw it. Just hands on his knees trying to catch his breath after that out. Executing pitches, still getting outs, but it's taken everything. You see him execute here, finishes the pitch, sees it to center, and gives himself a little breather.
This would be interesting to hear him after the game if he says, you know, is this one of the toughest games in terms of conditions he's ever pitched in?
I would assume, and we're fortunate enough to be up here in the booth in the shade, still warm, even as a fan. I mean, it's hot. You got a lot of people that probably have to go for shade, go for cover to get out of it. Imagine competing at the highest level right here out in the middle of it. It does take a lot. And credit John Gant for being out there doing his thing and doing it so economically, pumping strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike on Pena. It's it to short. Dansby Swanson makes the play. That's one way to combat the heat. The June crowds, by the way, and we're now into July 1st today, but there were 17 June home crowds that were above 40,000. 6 of the 10 sellouts this year happened in the month of June. Packing them in.
Summertime in St. Louis, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You're going to a baseball game.
So 2 outs, and here is Gant. Can you get another inning out of Fultonevich?
Well, if he's able to go in order here, the fact that he just hit, you would think so.
Out to left, and Acuna makes the catch. In a 1-2-3 inning, he has struck out 9 and allowed just 1 hit through 5. Giveaways for the entire family that day. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a baseball stitch print Cardinals tote bag, and for the kids 15 and younger, a Fredbird hooded towel presented by the Pasta House. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Ozzie Albies will lead it off here in the 6th inning. Well, you were thinking it could have been a good pitching matchup at Wrigley Field with John Lester and Lance Lynn. Lynn today, an inning and 2/3, 7 runs. Gave up a 3-run homer to Lester, and the Cubs lead 8-1 after 2 innings. Brian Dunsing, by the way, to the DL for the Cubs, shoulder fatigue. The Cubs are a game and a half back at Milwaukee. St. Louis 5.5 out. And the Cardinals are 2 games out in the wild card. That's Tyler Hayes right there in the middle. Son of Jim Hayes, and he's got a couple of sleeves, compression sleeves on.
Looking good. Got an opportunity to meet him a few times. That is a nice young man right there. He loves him some Cardinal baseball too.
Thank goodness he looks like Mom.
No doubt about that.
And there's a base hit into center field. Ozzie Albies. But Tyler had the look. He had the cutoff sleeves, so he's showing off the guns. Right. But then you got to have the compression sleeve too.
Sure. And representing well. 4th of July coming up this week. He's already rocking them. Just hanging loose.
So leadoff base hit for Albies, an 11-game hitting streak. He was 3 for 5 last night. Leads the National League in runs scored. He scored 64 runs. Here's Freeman. He is 0 for 2. Grounded out to the shift back in the first inning. Then an 8-pitch at bat in the third and lined out to left. And it's hit out of play.
You'd like to see Freeman just get out in front of one a little bit. Could be a nice double play candidate here.
One nothing our score. Cardinals with 1 hit, the Braves with 3. He is a threat to steal. He's got 7. And the 0-1 pitch. Hit out of play. Albee started towards second base and then stopped. I always tell you don't get a good jump, you can stop.
That's right. Don't have to. Saw earlier in the game Colton Wong got a little bit further than that, but was able to make it back.
And the 0-2 pitch to Freddie Freeman. Well, Gant again go back to the start against Cleveland, and here today efficient too. 62 pitches. That's it as we play here in the top of the 6th. Fultonevich with 86. And the 1-2 pitch. Out of play again.
He's done a good job today, and he did the same thing against Cleveland of using everything too. It's fastball, changeup are the 2 pitches that he's most comfortable with, but he's used the breaking ball quite a bit today. He's used it to finish hitters. He's also used it to get ahead of both righties and lefties. It's a good pitch for him.
And the 1-2 pitch. Just missed on the outside corner. Freeman, one of those guys that rarely chases outside the zone. We saw in the 8-pitch at bat in the third. He'll foul a bunch away. He's done that here. And he's worked it to 2-2. And the 2-2. Albies is running, and it's pulled foul.
That is one thing that Freddie Freeman, there are many things, but that's another thing that he's really good at, is just handling breaking balls down in the zone and giving himself a chance. Some of the best hitters in the game, it extends an at bat. You wait for somebody to make a mistake. That was a decent breaking ball right there, bottom half, and he's able to pull that thing foul.
Pitch is seen today, 6 here in his third at bat. He wears the long sleeves. He's had a history in his family of cancer, melanoma, skin cancer, so always will be protected this summer months. See if he wants to throw over here. Albies was off with that last pitch. I would imagine from a pitcher's perspective, you fear a guy like Freeman because he can launch one out of the ballpark, but he is just one tough out, period.
He is for sure, and it adds another level when you have speed on over at first base. So you're thinking about that, you're conscious of it, you're picking over, you're holding, you're trying to vary your looks, and a lot of times when you do that, you can take a little focus away of what you're doing at the plate. Dangerous thing to do with Freddie Freeman up.
And the 2-2 to Freddie Freeman. Well, they've tried everything.
They have.
In, breaking balls, cutter.
I like that idea, though. I like fastball up in the zone against him, especially if you're able to get in there up. And I'm talking up above the zone. Don't throw it for a strike in there. You could be in trouble because he covers the breaking ball so well. And he's just so comfortable hitting there with 2 strikes. Sometimes you got to just get him to get aggressive up.
The 2-2 pitch. Again to Freeman. In the air, deep right, Bader back, and it's gone. A 2-run homer for Freeman. What an at bat, and that makes it a 3-0 Atlanta lead. He threw the proverbial kitchen sink at him, and Freddie Freeman on the 8th pitch of the at bat, a 2-run homer.
Well, Freddie Freeman battled like crazy in this one, like we were talking about, gives himself another chance to do something special, and he does it here. Gant goes with the changeup. This thing ends up middle, up a little bit, thigh high, and Freddie Freeman puts a good swing on it, trying to go away with that changeup, and just pulls it a little bit. Great at bat right there by Freddie Freeman.
Now Markakis. 426 feet the distance of the home run. 3-0 Atlanta here in the top of the 6th. And they start to stir and throw in the Cardinals pen. Markakis 0 for 2, robbed by Colton Wong back in the 2nd, and also grounded out to 1st. It's now 8 straight seasons with 100 or more hits for Freddie Freeman. Number 100 came with a boom.
If you're John Gant at this point too, it's all about moving on. You've done what you can to this point. Let's keep it right there. The offense got to get rolling. Fultonevich looks like he's up against the ropes just as far as the heat goes. He's throwing the ball great. But if you keep him right here, you give up 3, you still got yourself a chance.
3-1 the count on Markakis. Yeah, Gant has only allowed 4 hits. 3-1 pitch. Out of play, and it's 3-2. It has been not only this year but a couple of years a play that's just been up and down for the Cardinals. Right when you think something's going well, then all of a sudden the Braves come to town, and Cardinals looking at a potential of a sweep after taking 2 of 3 against a very good Cleveland club, winning the final 2 against Milwaukee. You're saying at that point, all right, something's going in the right direction, but treading water really, not only this year but the last couple of years. And there's Mike Maddox after the 3rd walk issued by Gant.
That's the thing. You know what happens during the season. There are always ups and downs. There's always the roller coaster. You'll have times where the starting rotation is great, and for the most part that has been the case this year for the Cardinals. You'll have times where the bullpen's throwing the ball well. You'll have times where the offense is going the way that it should, and sometimes 2 out of 3 are working, and in beautiful times and hopefully long stretches, all 3, everything is clicking together. That's one thing the Cardinals haven't really had yet this year, is everything. It's all clicking at the right time, and you look at the pieces that are in place, you think that they will have that happen at some point soon, and hopefully it happens here very soon. Because you look at the schedule here, what they've already done, what they're heading into. You mentioned the pitching matchups already that they're going to face in Arizona and San Francisco. It is going to be some tough work ahead of them.
Yep. And the batter now, Tyler Flowers. 3-0 Braves. Picked up a run on a 2-out double from Culberson back in the second. Moments ago, a 2-run homer hit by Freddie Freeman. There's strike one. The Braves will go to New York. They'll face the Yankees and then finish up their road trip with 4 in Milwaukee. So they themselves in a tough stretch right here, but so far so good. Fastball low. If you're wondering, Flowers has grounded into 2 double plays this season. Mike Myers continues to throw in the Cardinals' pen.
Seeing Gann fall behind a little bit started him off with a breaking ball in this at bat, just trying to mix it up a little.
And the 2-1 pitch to Flowers. 2-2.
Nice breaking ball again right there. 75 mile an hour, stays on top of that thing, gets it down in the zone. And a nice wrinkle right there. So now you've got him thinking about that. So you open yourself up for your entire arsenal after you've shown him twice now in this at bat that you can throw that thing.
And the 2-2 pitch. Gant in the dirt. th pitch of the inning coming up. 15 was the most in any of the first 5 innings.
I think a good fastball away can get you a little ground ball right here.
And the 3-2 pitch. Runner goes and a ground ball, so they stay out of the double play. Carpenter to first. They start Markakis and stay out of the double play.
Goes 3-2 changeup right there, gets him right out in front. Ground ball to third base. That's what you're looking for right there, a ground ball.
And that'll be it for John Gant. With Acuna coming up, Mike Myers coming on. On Friday night, tight situation with the bases loaded and only one out, and pitched out of that jam. Chevy called to the pen. The lefty's only hitting 204 against him. The righty's 265, his 23rd appearance of the year. I go back to the Phillies series when Greg Holland, we knew he was coming back, and it could have been Myers. Maybe, you know, you start doing the numbers. I'm sure you've done it before as a guy that would go up and down. You think, well, this could be it for me. If I'm going out, I might as well let it rip.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and since that time, he's been really good.
He has been really good, and he's gained the confidence of his manager, of his pitching coach. He's found himself in bigger and better spots. He's just throwing the ball really well. The fastball is high octane. His slider is very good. And another nice spot for him. Got to be able to keep him here.
Here's a 1-0 to Acuna. We'll give the Braves and their scouts internationally a lot of credit for finding guys like Albies, Acuna, some of the others that they have in their system. By all accounts, top 2 or 3 in all of baseball in the minor leagues. And yesterday he got things started against Luke Weaver on a pitch that was up, and he launched it. It was a 2-run homer, and then Markakis the grand slam, and that chased Luke Weaver.
Got to figure too, it's about getting your timing back. He's been on the DL for about a month. Went out on rehab for a little bit. Nice slider right there by Mike Myers. But it's reps, especially in the big leagues. Got to get him going. We saw him on Friday, just a little jumpy, grounded out 3 times. Think he punched out once. Got back into the flow a little bit yesterday.
And the 2-2 pitch to Ronald Acuna Jr. Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Jerko, and not in time as he gets down the line in an infield hit.
It was a heck of a play by Jerko. Strong throw. But Acuna just busting right out of the box.
His speed stood out Friday night when we saw this too.
It did, and it changes. I mean, that changes a little bit of everything. Jerko ranges into the hole right here, makes a nice little slide, gets himself in a great position to throw, quick release, and just not enough to get Acuna.
Here's Charlie Culberson. RBI double with 2 outs in the second, and he walked.
Timing is one thing, speed never slumps.
No.
So if you've got that, you can make something happen.
And the 1-0 is belted into center field. Throw by Pham will be cut off by Martinez, and the throw to third safe. He dropped it. That allowed Acuna an extra step, and he's in at third.
Mike Matheny wants to take a look at it here. The play over at third base. You see Tommy Pham come up firing. And just a quick bobble. That's all it took on the transfer, but it does look like they got him right there. Good call on taking a look at this. Kind of tough from that angle, having Carpenter's leg blocking it. They're going to get a lot of different angles at this one.
Mentioned that I talked to John Mozeliak today, and one of the topics of conversation. That's close.
That is close. That might be too close to overturn here.
Was Jose Martinez and potentially moving Jose to the outfield. And he said, look, at this point, the bat needs to stay in the lineup. We know that. But everything is on the table. You know, we're trying to figure out the best combination we can, but you may see the upcoming road trip a little bit more of Martinez potentially in the outfield. That should have been an easy out at third base. Take a look at Chris Segal, the third base umpire. His positioning. Well, I mean, he can't be any closer.
Well, they're taking a really good look at this thing. It's taken a while. For an out, they can take as long as they want. Acuna once again, though, making something happen with that speed over there, and he's going to be safe.
Give him credit on a routine single to center. He winds up at third. So the call stands. And Swanson now, who has walked and flied to right, will dig in. Flaherty, Ryan Flaherty, left-handed batter, has moved to the on-deck circle. And the corners are in. Martinez holding it first. Culberson with 3 stolen bases. Carpenter in at third. And the 1-0. Ground ball. Martinez will come to the plate and safe. What could have been, well, you hate to say routine. Anything is but routine at this level, but that's a double play.
It could have been 2, or if you really, I mean, in your head, if you wanted to get him at the plate, it's got to be your first instinct. But he's right there by the bag. Could have been a tag the bag tag at second, and just a hair late get him in at home. Got nothing to show for that ground ball right there. Nice pitch by Myers.
So now Flaherty, the pinch hitter. Boy, oh boy. There's a wild pitch. Mike Myers should be out of the inning. Should have been an out of Acuna at third. Should have been out at the plate if he's not indecisive, or out of the inning with the double play and the ground ball hit to Martinez. And that's the way things have gone.
You couple that with the fact that the offense has struggled to get it going. That's not a recipe for success here recently against this Braves team who came in not playing their best baseball, but have turned it on here against the Cardinals.
A fielder's choice and an RBI for Swanson. That'll be his 32nd. And the 2-0 pitch into center field. This will make it 6-0. Flaherty with the RBI.
You see the offense here has been slow to get anything going early on. The 9th inning, they've shown some signs of life, but very tough to win some ball games when you're not scoring in the first 8 innings.
It's a 5-run top of the 6th, and back to the top of the lineup. Enter Inciarte, 9th man to come to the dish, and a fastball misses in. You know, you think about the defense of the Cardinals, and it's no errors today, but there's misplays, and it's led to extended innings. The 3 losses in a row, they've committed 4 errors. Today, misplay on the cut from center, the play at first base, a wild pitch. I mean,
and when everything's not clicking,
can't win that way.
Yeah, those things add up pretty quickly. ultimately, if you get done with this ball game and you don't score a run, maybe it won't matter, but it is going to matter in a lot tighter ball games.
And the 1-0 pitch now to Ender Inciarte. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shane Carl is throwing in the Atlanta pen. And another wild pitch. Line on Gant, 5 1/3. 4 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 2, walked 3. 1 was intentional and gave up a home run. Two balls and 1 strike on Inciarte. Two and two. And the 2-2 pitch. Myers to Inciarte. Hit out of play. Fultonevich, his line, 5 innings, no runs, 1 hit, struck out 9, walked 3. And that's the lone bright spot for any Cardinal fan in this inning, and maybe this day. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Inciarte. Hit out of play again.
Just battling up there. Inciarte does a very good job of fighting stuff off, breaking balls down. What a grab right there. That's worth a cheer.
Here's a 2-2. Ground ball. Myers has it. And he makes the play. Big inning for the Braves. They pick up 5 and they lead 6-0. Nation's capital. The MLB All-Star Game is coming up. That'll be July 17th only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. With Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And the new pitcher is Shane Carl. Fultonevich, 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. The Cardinals right now with just 1 hit. This will be appearance number 35 for the right-hander.
Shane Carl's thrown the ball very well for them this year. There have been a lot of talk about the struggles in that bullpen, and near the All-Star or trade deadline, wouldn't be surprised if they make some moves. But the rookie right-hander has done his part this year for the Braves.
He is from Southern California, pitched at Long Beach State. And the first pitch taken for a ball. Pitched in 3 games for the Rockies last year. And was acquired in a trade the offseason for a player to be named later. He's been traded a lot, that player to be named later.
He always finds a job, though.
Yeah, he does. He finds a home.
It's the beauty of it.
Here's a 1-0 pitch now to Carpenter. On the ground to the second baseman, Albies. 1 away. Want to buy or sell tickets at the last minute? Get the StubHub app where you can grab 100% MLB verified tickets until the first pitch. Sell your extras to another fan. Get the StubHub app today. StubHub, official partner of the Cardinals. Now Tommy Pham, he's 0 for 2. The fastball in there for strike 1.
Not too many positives so far for the Cardinals today. Gant did throw the ball well, ran into that trouble, but it would be nice to see something trending in the right direction. It could start right here with Tommy Pham, just getting that swing right. This offense is so much different when he's clicking.
They have moved him down in the lineup, back up today, trying to find any way to get him going.
And we've seen some positive things recently. The couple balls driven out to right field on Friday. He's taking some pitches away that he was flailing at a little bit earlier, in the month.
And there's a base hit for Tommy Pham. Snaps it 0 for 31.
This had to feel very good for Tommy Pham. The hard work that he puts in is well documented. He's been trying to find tweaks, trying to get something right. Very well balanced swing right here. Drives it the other way, just out of the reach of Ozzie Albies over there at second base. And hopefully a sign of things to come for Tommy Pham.
Just the second Cardinal hit. Now Jose Martinez grounded out to short and struck out swinging on a 3-2 pitch back in the 4th. Last hit for Pham was against the Phillies, so it was on the last road trip, May 19th. The count on Jose Martinez.
We've seen the last couple of nights the offense come alive in the 9th inning. Got to get it going before that. You got 1 out, got a guy on, got the part of your lineup up that you want there. Got to make something happen here.
Chance to do it on a 2-0 pitch. Sends it out to center. Ender Inciarte with the catch. And that's out number 2. The batter is Marcell Ozuna. Single to right on a 2-2 pitch back in the 4th. Also struck out swinging. 1 for 2 on the day. Nasty slider.
Marcell Ozuna trying to be aggressive right here, and Carl just puts that one right on the corner. Throws it hard, comes out of his hand looking like a heater, and just dots to the outside.
And it's 0-2. Tyler O'Neill with his 19th home run of the season, combined with Memphis and the Cardinals last night. Paul DeYoung with a hit, his rehab assignment. We'll see DeYoung at some point on the upcoming trip. Matt Bowman pitched a scoreless inning on Friday night, trying to come back from the finger issues. Ozuna puts it in play. Culberson spinning on the ground and makes a dandy play. We head to the 7th inning. Culberson to his left, sliding, spinning, and an out. Brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, going further so you can. Into the ball game, Greg Holland for St. Louis. Mike Myers 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs on a couple of hits. This is your former teammate, Greg Holland.
Yeah, we played together in Omaha in 2010, AAA with the Royals, and you know how it went for him from there. He emerged as a setup guy in that bullpen and then ended up closing, and he has made quite a career for himself, and it's great to see him since coming off the DL throwing the ball the way that he has. The ball's coming out of his hand like he should. He's getting that true break. He's able to spot up his fastball a bit better than he has early in the season, whether it be the hip impingement that he had, maybe it was the lack of spring training for a little bit of it. It just didn't look like him. And if the Cardinals are going to be where they expect to be, which is late in the season with a chance to make the playoffs, Greg Holland is going to have a big part of it.
Left-handed batters hitting 189 against him. It's the right-handed batters that have gotten to him at a 395 average.
Well, I think it's because a lot of that was early on when everything came out of his hand flat. So his breaking ball would just kind of slide up there, just kind of fling out of his hand. It would be that cement mixer where it just spins. It's not doing that now. It's got that true break more often than not at this point.
Also fastball command, pitching ahead in the count.
It's big. Has fallen behind here with Albies, but it's been a big difference since coming back.
And the 3-1 lifted in the air to center on the move. Pham. He's back and makes the catch. Nice play by Tommy Pham. Well, sometimes if the team is trailing, just grab a book and settle into this 100-degree weather.
That seems like a really nice place to read.
Shaded.
Yeah. It's probably a good book too. I'm not sure what it is. You ever heard like the term, I just couldn't put it down. That's exactly where she's at. Started this book at home, knew she had to go to a game. Just can't put it down. I'm hoping she didn't drive her family to the game. That could be dangerous.
Here's Freddie Freeman, 6-0 our score with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. One of the key at-bats in this game. Freeman, boy, he was battling with John Gant back in the 6th inning. And at that point, with a runner at first, it's a 1-run game. And it wound up being an 8-pitch at bat. And then Freeman took a changeup and drilled it 426 feet for a 2-run homer. They added 3 more after that.
John Gant was throwing him a little bit of everything. Tried to elevate, tried to throw the breaking ball down. Ultimately went with that changeup and just missed middle. And Freddie Freeman didn't miss like he did right there.
Hyundai pitch arsenal on Greg Holland as he picks up his first strikeout.
Well, you see, he likes that slider quite a bit, and when it's right, why wouldn't you? That thing is nasty. Gets the punch out right there on it. It's effective to both righties. He can tie up lefties just like you saw right there with it. And then he spots up the fastball very well. Here's his slider right here for the strikeout, and you see it just drop off the table and eat up Freddie Freeman on the inner half. Looks like it's going to be a strike until it just darts last second.
So 2 outs, and the batter is Markakis. Markakis with a walk and a run scored back in the 6th. Robbed by Wong in the 2nd, also grounded out to first. 0 for 2. Scored his 50th run in his last at bat. That's 13 years now with 50 or more runs scored. Robinson Cano has done that. Ichiro. Only players of recent history to lay claim to that, but that's consistency.
It is, and it's amazing at 34 he's on pace to go to his first All-Star game.
You think about guys that have 2,000 hits, they're big stars, and probably most fans would not guess Nick Markakis.
No, I don't think so at all. He's just he's been overall in his career, and I know he's dealt with some things the last couple of years, but he's been overall healthy, so he's been able to be out there and put up those numbers. He takes professional at-bats, and the Braves decided to invest in him and be one of those guys that they could help build around. They already had Freddie Freeman. They wanted another veteran that could get it done on the field and also help out in the clubhouse with all the young guys. And Markakis has fit the bill.
And it's popped up on the infield. Matt Carpenter with the catch. And a 1-2-3 for Greg Holland. It's time to stretch. Braves on top. Cardinals will head out to Arizona after the ball game this afternoon. The bucket hat giveaway, and most of those have been in use here at the ballpark. It has been a scorching hot day. Shane Carl is second inning in relief of Fultonevich, who went 5 and struck out 9, gave up 1 hit. Jed Jerko struck out back in the second and also walked in the 4th. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Sam Tuivailala is getting loose in the Cardinals pen. And it's 0-2 on Jed Jerko.
You can tell Jerko right there was looking for that slider again. Carl threw him a nice one first pitch and then follows it up with 95 on the outer half.
And the 0-2 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop today, Jed Jerko. Well, judging from these 3 games, these Braves are for real.
They are, and you could tell it even coming in. They weren't playing their best baseball, but overall, I mean, this club has exceeded all expectations. The starting pitching has been better than they expected. Bullpen wise, they've had their struggles, although they've looked pretty good against the Cardinals here, except for the 9th inning the last couple of days. And they have a chance to add on at the trade deadline. When you have a lot of young talent, you see it around. You see Swanson, Albies, got your veterans in Markakis, Freeman. You got so many good pieces out there, easy to build around.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
You think about the way that they're built, and I'm not trying to say it's exactly like the Cubs, because they have 2 legit stars in Rizzo and Bryant, but they've got young position players that are going to be there for the foreseeable future. I mean, that's a nice way to build. And on the flip side, look, the Cardinals have arms that tons of organizations wish they had. There are different ways to build, and it's tough to say which one is more successful. I'll tell you this, though. I would love to have a stable of young arms, like a guy like Jack Flaherty. You've got Dakota Hudson throwing the ball the way he is in AAA. You sprinkle in some guys like Miles Michaelis, get Weaver throwing the ball the right way. It's a pretty good base to have that the Cardinals have got going as well.
And the 3-2 pitch. These 3 games, combined score 22-5 in favor of the Braves. All 5 Cardinal runs scored in the 9th inning. Luke Ragerson struck out 2 in a perfect inning in a rehab appearance for Memphis. That's in Iowa, the AAA affiliate of the Cubs. It's game 1 of a doubleheader. And the 3-2 pitch popped up to the right side. Freeman giving chase. This ball may drop, and it will. Jerko stops at first, and the leadoff base hit. How about the guts of Daniel Ponce de Leon? He's an all-star this year, 1 of 3 for the Memphis Redbirds. Dakota Hudson being another, Patrick Wisdom, but Ponce de Leon starting in game 2. It'll be his first appearance at Principal Park since he was struck by the line drive that knocked him out last season. So he's back to where it happened a year ago.
Yeah, you know, those memories are still there, not only for him, but his entire family that go through that with him as well. It was great to see him come back the way that he did, stepping on the mound the first time, and then having the season he's had. And then you become an all-star. You get your big league call-up. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to see him make his debut. It's coming, especially the way that he's throwing the ball. Those opportunities will continue to roll in for Daniel Ponce de Leon.
And when he does get that call up here in St. Louis, the ovation will be magnificent. The fans here, they know the story. They've heard all about it. Here's Harrison Bader, short lead at first by Jerko. Bader 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. I think you're right, though. You're looking for just something, some kind of spark, anything to build upon going to Arizona. A rally,
some
a home
momentum.
run, something.
Conga would be nice. Carl with another nice off-speed pitch right there. 2-0 hitter count. Starts this slider away in a fastball count. Harrison Bader looking to do some damage here. Sees it out of his hand and just can't get it.
And a strike, and it's 2-2. When you don't hit, you look flat. Team has looked flat this weekend. You couple that with sloppy defense. Not a pretty combination.
No, it's difficult to win that way, and just like that flatness that you talk about, it kind of takes the air out of things. All it takes is a few things in the right direction to get it going again, to get a little pep in your step, and just optics-wise to look better, and then in turn you feel better. Those opportunities have been tough here. Another nice breaking ball by Carl, punches out Harrison Bader.
So the Cardinals in their lineup, they've now struck out 10 times, with 9 of those coming from Foltynewicz. There's Colton Wong. He walked, stole second, back in the third, and is flied out to center on a 3-1 pitch. And Wong pulls it fair inside the first base line. Off the sidewall, not touched by a fan. Jerko stops at third. And a double for Colton Wong, his second hit.
Colton Wong here, not wasting any time, sees a heater that he likes on the inner half and puts a good swing on it. Keeps it fair, drives it right down the line, running hard out of the box, knows he's got a surefire double. If this thing kicks a different way, maybe Jerko is able to score as well, but make something happen. No point in getting deep into the count. If you see a fastball you can drive right now, try to put a swing on it.
Jesse Biddle, one of 3 lefties in the pen for the Braves, getting loose, and here's Francisco Pena with runners at second and third. And ball 1. He is struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2 today. Greg Garcia would be the pinch hitter for Greg Holland. And that'll be a base hit down the right field line. 2 runs will score. And the Cardinals get on the board. It's now 6-2. Pena with an RBI single that brings in 2.
Well, finally starting to get a little bit of momentum here, driving in 2 runs right here. Pena gets a fastball in the outer half away. Good pitch, but he's able to get the bat to it, not try to do too much, and drive in a couple. The Cardinals needed something, some sort of momentum to get going, get that goose egg off the board, and Pena showed up big right there.
It'll knock out Carl. Jesse Biddle pitched in game 1. He's coming on to pitch here in game 3. The authority of the Cardinals, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals will use Jairo Munoz as the pinch hitter. Greg Garcia was never announced, to my knowledge, so now I'm being told he was. So Garcia has been announced, and now it'll be Munoz. Biddle pitched 2/3 of an inning on Friday. And that's grounded to short, deep in the hole. Swanson, nice play.
Well, Swanson just ranges here, shows off the athleticism. Slide pops up. Albies loses it on the transfer right there, but absolutely has him at second. Dansby's got some good handles over there at shortstop, and he'll just continue to get better and better. Culberson, we saw him make a nice play over there at third base. Albies can turn it really well. I mean, they're rangy in the infield, whether it be Culberson at third or if it's Camargo. They're solid on that left side. And Albies eats up everything over there at second base. You want to build a team that's athletic. That's exactly what they've done here.
Here's Carpenter. Leads a club in home runs. Hit a long ball here. You've got an interesting couple of innings to go.
You do, for sure. And it's interesting enough, Jesse Biddle, and we talked about this the other night, he's long, he's lanky. You think that he'd be really tough on lefties, but lefties actually see him well. He kind of crossfires a little bit. It's righties that have had the struggles against Biddle. Hopefully Carpenter gets something up out over that he can drive right here.
Walked on 4 pitches, first time up. Struck out on a fastball in the 3rd. And against Carl in the 6th, grounded out to second. 3-0. Well, 3-0, and you see those numbers, you turn them loose here.
I think so. At this point, I know you got to get something going, and Matt Carpenter is a smart hitter. He's got one of the best eyes in the game. I would tell him, hey, one pitch, one spot. If you've got something that you think you can drive, go for it here at this point. You want to get something going with this offense. Take strike one, 96 down. Not him, not the spot he wants here. See Biddle trying to go down the way, misses in a little bit, but still down. And Matt Carpenter still in the driver's seat right now, with Biddle kind of struggling with his command.
And the 3-1. Fouled back, 3-2. Munoz, your runner at first, playing behind him, Freddie Freeman. So Jairo can get a good jump with 2 outs. Then a walk to Carpenter. Peter Moylan, the 39-year-old from Australia, will face Tommy Pham. Braves and Cardinals, baseball's two biggest events of the summer back-to-back. The T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 16th at 7. Then catch baseball's biggest stars, the 89th All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's July 17th on Fox. Coverage begins at 6:30. Peter Moylan, these two faced each other, Pham and Moylan, on Friday, and Pham drew a walk. In his career, 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. He is the oldest player currently right now in baseball, 39 years young, Peter Moylan. Last time up, he snapped an 0 for 31 streak as Pham picked up a base hit into right. He's 1 for 3. And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Peter Moylan this year has played with fire quite a bit. It seems like every inning that he pitches, somebody gets on, something happens, and you got to hope here with 2 outs that Tommy Pham is going to be able to get something going here. Maybe tries that slider and hangs one middle.
And the 1-1.
Ties him up with a really nice fastball in after that slider at 78. He goes 91 inside. Uncomfortable at bat for a right-hander the way that Moylan drops down.
And the 1-2 to Pham. Way outside, mid high, and it's 2-2. Peter Moylan was pitching with Kansas City a year ago when he came through St. Louis. The 2-2 pitch. And Pham lifts a high fly ball into center. At the wall. Gone! It's a home run for Tommy Pham. 3-run shot. Second hit of the day. Number 13 of the year. The Cardinals are right back in it.
Well, here is the hanging slider right here by Moylan. Just cement mixer down the middle, and Tommy Pham stays right on this thing, drives it to dead center field. He snapped the 0 for 31 coming into it before, and drives one here. No bigger at bat today than that one by Tommy Pham.
That's $1,000 raised. The Gateway Honda home run inning to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. And now the tying run comes to the plate.
Doesn't feel flat anymore, Dan.
No, sir.
Things are happening. There's a little buzz in the crowd now. And you know there's a buzz in that dugout.
50th career home run for Tommy Pham. And a strike to Jose Martinez. This has been the Achilles heel of the Braves.
You had to think it was a matter of time, and I know we've seen it in the 9th inning the last 2 games. The Cardinals chipping away a little bit against the bullpen. Well, this has been a problem for them, and hopefully that problem continues today in this ball game.
0-2. Jordan Hicks have been throwing in the Cardinals' pen. The 0-2 pitch to Jose Martinez. Puts it in play, slowly hit. Moylan knocks it down. Infield hit for Martinez.
Well, Moylan throws a sinker away right here. Martinez doesn't get much of it, but does bust hard out of the gate just in case something happens. Peter Moylan can't field that one cleanly. And here we go. Keep it going. Next man up right here. And you got to like this next man. Marcell Ozuna, big time power. Maybe the Cardinals take a lead right here.
No activity right now in the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. Tommy Pham, a couple of hits and a big 3-run blast for St. Louis to pull them to within 1. It's now 6-5. The tying run at first base in Martinez. potential go-ahead run in Ozuna at the plate. First pitch to Marcell Ozuna. The 11th sellout of the year. Crowd of 46,448 today. 46448. The 0-1. June 16th against the Chicago Cubs, the last time that Ozuna's gone deep.
Couple of sinkers he's seen in this at bat so far. We've seen the mistake that Moylan made with the breaking ball, the slider to Tommy Pham. You got to wonder if he's afraid to go to it, and if he does, maybe he misses right over the plate again.
The 0-2. Ozuna hits it down the right field line, but foul. Reds have posted a victory over Milwaukee. The final there, 8-2. The Cardinals somehow could come back and win this game. They'd be 4.5 games out. Now things can change quickly.
No doubt about it. Marcell Ozuna in this at-bat seen 4 straight fastballs now. You think that Moylan might go to the breaking ball, and if he does, this thing's going to be down, probably way off the plate.
The 1-2. Ozuna grounds it to short. Swanson, force play at second. The Cardinals put up a 5 spot. They pulled it within 1. It's 6-5, and Tommy Pham 2 hits today in home run number 13. We got a ball game and some excitement here in Busch. All right, Jimmy, thank you. I got to be honest, I'm going to miss you on the upcoming road trip.
He is your buddy, huh?
Hey, my little buddy.
You guys sit next to each other on the plane?
We do.
Are you sad a little bit?
A little. I'm going to get over it, though.
It's all right.
My buddy, Jim Hayes, does a great job.
You know what this is on this road trip for you? It's an opportunity to make a new friend.
Well, I'll get professionalism from Erica.
Well, that is something that you are surely lacking with Jim Hayes around.
No question.
With all due respect.
You summed it up beautifully.
Thank you.
101 on the gun from Jordan Hicks. We saw him Friday night. Struggled.
He did. It looked like on Friday he was trying to do a little bit too much. You saw him miss an arm side high quite a bit, hit a batter, walked the guy, surrendered a hit. He's a lot better than that, and just a little bump in the road.
1 ball, 1 strike. Third of an inning, a hit, 3 runs. A walk and a strikeout for Hicks. Flowers with a double. And hits it sharply to Jed Jerko. What away. Ronald Acuna. At an infield hit off of Mike Myers back in the 6th inning. Hicks is the 4th pitcher used by the Cardinals today. Gant, Myers, Holland, and Hicks. Fastball. 101 on the gun. Everybody used to ooh and ah, wow, 101. Now it's just given.
Everybody wants 106 now.
There's that slider, and he went.
I'll tell you what, there's your ooh and ah right there, is being able to throw 81 and then throw 89 that nobody can lay off of because they are so geared up for the fastball. This thing, he pulls it a little bit and still cannot hold up as Acuna at the plate. Have fun with that. Have fun with 89 off the plate slider, then 102 sinking in on your hands.
Here's an 0-2 pitch to Ronald Acuna Jr.
When you look at the list of hardest pitches in the season, it takes you a very long time to find a name that's not Jordan Hicks or Aroldis Chapman. I mean, those are your 2 guys.
And the 0-2. Pulled foul again. If Acuna, that's 3 balls sinking with triple digits, and he's able to pull it and at least stay alive.
Well, you've got him conscious of that now. You've thrown a few of them in there. He has done a very good job of battling. If Hicks can throw that breaking ball in the outer half again, certainly, I mean, don't want it for a strike. Throw it down and away, a lot like you got that check swing off of him last time. I think you'll get him. 103 on the gun, just above the zone. Thought he had him there.
Fouled back.
Went with the slider right there, a little bit up in the zone. Acuna just fouling it off. He is doing a good job of battling.
It's a right-hander Dan Winkler throwing in the pen for Atlanta. Getting set for the 8th inning.
And you wanted the slider. Hicks goes with the heater away.
Fastball struck him out. 102 on the gun.
Woo. That is well located right there in this at bat. Acuna saw a lot of heaters running in on him on his hands. Well, this one is spotted up away at 102. Very nice call right there. Hicks knew what he felt comfortable throwing in that spot and executed that pitch very well.
Here's Culberson on base 3 times. Andy Cockrell from the Quad Cities had a chance to visit with him in our booth before the game. He and his lovely wife Liz and their son Gibson, who's 4.5 and named after, you guessed it, Bob Gibson. It's kind of like Jason Mott, who named his son Suter after Bruce.
Cool.
Those two have become very close over the years. 0-2 the count. Culberson, RBI double with 2 outs back in the second, walked in the 5th. Single RBI run scored in the 6th. And the 0-2. Rears back, fires it, charging Carpenter. Tough play, the stretch by Martinez. The Rally Cat today, August 9, 2017. Look who's on the mound. Peter Moylan. The grand slam hit by Yadier Molina. Peter Moylan today in our Budweiser play of the game. Home run hit by Tommy Pham to pull the Cardinals to within 1. His 3-run homer. And it's a 6-5 Atlanta lead in the bottom of the 8th. The new pitcher, right-hander Dan Winkler. It'll be Jed Jerko, Harrison Bader, Colton Wong still left on the bench for the Cardinals, Molina and Fowler. The numbers are Chevy called to the pen for Dan Winkler. This crowd back in it here at Busch Stadium. Jerko hit it off the end of the bat in a high fly ball, lifted into shallow left center. Acuna with the catch. It's been a tough day for Harrison Bader. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Winkler, by the way, from Effingham, Illinois. On Friday, got his first major league save. So he picked up the final 2 outs in that ball game. 1 out, nobody on. See Bader seeing a steady diet of those sliders, breaking balls, kind of pulling off some of those pitches.
Yeah, staying away from them. And you know how hard Harrison Bader swings. I mean, every time he's up there, it's with a purpose, trying to do some damage. You're going to have to stay on one of these. I mean, Winkler's going to try to throw him that cutter away. Just like we saw him get Jerko with right there, that's where he's going to live against Harrison Bader.
The 2-0. 3-0. Three and one. Three and two.
That ball looked to be down and away. Not a pitch Harrison Bader's going to be able to do much damage with either way. Lays off. Looks like Winkler got one right there.
Would he throw him a slider here?
I think he'll go with that cutter right there, outer half. That's his go-to. He likes it.
3-2 pitch. Bader with a fly ball into right. And Markakis the catch. Wong has walked, stolen a base. That was number 2 back in the 3rd. And doubled inside the first base line back in the 7th. Was part of that 5-run rally for the Cardinals.
Colton Wong, while he's had his struggles throughout the year offensively, you see the average there at 193. He has had a flair for the dramatic, has he not?
Absolutely. Late in games, he'll go for it too. Francisco Pena at the on-deck circle, but Norris warming up for the Cardinals. One way or another, he's coming in this game. Winkler, the 5th pitcher used by the Braves today. Boltonevich was terrific. 5 innings, 1 hit, struck out 9, walked 3. Then we've seen Carl, the lefty Biddle. Moylan gave up the 3-run homer, and now Winkler. Two and one. Pulled foul into the Cardinal dugout, and that was right by Jack Flaherty.
Winkler got that cutter in there good. Colton Wong gets around on it. That's about all you can do with that pitch.
The 2-2. Wong lifts a fly ball out to right center, and it is caught. Inciarte was there, so was Markakis, and the catch is made. Inciarte with the catch and no collision. What a play here. Let's concentration.
From the unprofessional shot earlier.
Yes. I didn't see this coming.
I didn't either. He threw 14 pitches. He looked really strong, and you know that Jordan Hicks can get through an inning quickly, especially with that power sinker.
And a strike to Dansby Swanson. Now, Bud Norris did pitch yesterday, and that was a blowout game. Get him some work, and then had him back up here this afternoon. It looked like he was getting hot too. Wasn't just playing catch. I mean, he was getting ready to come in the game. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swanson is 0 for 2. Hicks had a 1-2-3 top of the 8th with a strikeout and the 1-1 pitch. Well, a guy throwing triple digits, you don't see it all the time, but especially now with 2 strikes. Swanson's been choking up on the bat here in this plate appearance.
Give yourself a chance, right? Try to get that head out a little bit. I mean, Hicks is going to do most of the work as far as power goes, so choking up might not be a bad idea.
And he pulls it left side to Carpenter just in time. Four up and 4 down for Hicks. This is Winkler's spot. This will be Danny Santana. He had a big hit Friday. And a ground ball to Martinez. Flips to Hicks for the out. It's a lefty, A.J. Minter. Inciarte on StatCast, and a ball that just carried and carried and carried. Long way to go for the brave center fielder, and a nice play.
To make that play to avoid the collision, I mean, that could be a game-saving play that he made right there. That was huge.
Strike to Inciarte. 0 for 4 today. Jordan Hicks 6 for 6 first pitch strikes. Really struggled with his control Friday night. One of the rare times that has happened. And a ground ball cut off by Carpenter. The pick by Martinez. Nicely done. Jordan Hicks 6 up, 6 down. Cardinals have had some walk-off magic this year. What about today? They're down by a run, trying to avoid a sweep. The Cardinals and Braves in Game 3, and it's 6-5. Winkler, Winter. Check that Minter. The lefty, A.J. Minter. So they've used a lot of pitchers just to try to get the final 4 innings, get through it after 5 innings from Fultonevich.
Well, Minter has been very solid for them recently. Their closer has been on the shelf, and he has been picking up a little bit of the slack unscored upon in his last 6 outings. Hopefully something changes there.
Cardinals with 7 walk-off wins this year. The last one, June 2nd against the Pirates. That was a Wong walk-off homer. Francisco Pena, part of the 5-run rally back in the 7th inning. A single to right that scored 2. Yadier Molina has moved to the on-deck circle. And the 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2. It's career game number 1,800 for Molina last night. Only 5 have done that in Cardinals history. Culberson, nothing getting by him to his right. He's right on the line.
You see how Minter's attacking Pena too. He's going hard in off the plate. Don't want him to hook one down the line.
And a strikeout. Cardinals have had 11 strikeouts in their lineup today. 9 of those coming from Fultonevich in the first 5 innings. Yadier Molina at the plate with 1 out. 6-5 our score. And strike 1. .11 home runs this year for Molina, despite the fact that he missed 26 games. Nothing at 2. I don't think he liked the first pitch. Definitely didn't like that one.
And not much you're going to be able to do with that. I mean, if that thing looked to be right on the corner, and that's about as perfect as you're going to throw a pitch. Minter backdoors that breaking ball right there. Now Yadi is very good at protecting in these spots.
And the 0-2.
Minter showed him inside right there. Going to go back away right here for the out. Yadi drive this thing the other way. We've seen it happen so many times.
And Molina sends a fly ball into right. 2 outs. Cardinals down to their final out. It'll be Carpenter, who has 2 walks in the ball game. Struck out back in the 3rd and also grounded out. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Minter. And ball 1. It's the kind of guy back into games that would drive you nuts. He'll go deep into a count, normally doesn't chase.
Matt Carpenter has had his struggles versus lefties this year, but his eye is always good. I mean, he will battle, he will fight, and you make a mistake, he will hurt you.
And the 1-0.
Minter just going with the hard one. Fastball up in the zone away, 98 miles an hour. Seems like everybody you trot out of the bullpen right now has that in the tank.
You can see the catcher Flowers setting up so far outside. That ball might have been a strike if he's in a traditional spot.
Yeah, it might be a little bit up in the zone, but Flowers trying to make sure that he doesn't make that mistake out over the plate. You want to set up away. You know what one swing in the back could mean right here.
The 2-1 pitch to Carpenter. And the Cardinals down to their final strike. And the Braves thinking a strike away from a sweep. One to stay away again, and the 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Tommy Pham on deck. He had the 3-run homer that pulled the Cardinals to within 1, and that's where we stand right now.
Just love to see you get it to him. We've been waiting for something positive to happen for Tommy Pham. Got the single to break that 0 for streak, then to get the 3-run homer. To get the ball game to him, it seems to set up pretty well.
A 3-2 pitch. Just got a piece.
Got Carpenter on the fastball away a couple of times. Going to go there again.
And the 3-2. Carpenter fouls back in a good rip.
Talked about how maddening he can be in a spot like this. He's able to lay off the pitches just outside the zone. He can also spoil good ones. That was one there, 98 on the outer half. It gives himself another chance. We saw a great at-bat earlier by Freddie Freeman where he did a similar thing, kept battling until he got one he could handle. Maybe that'll be the case right here for Carpenter. Get something he can handle or draw that walk.
Another 3-2 pitch to Carpenter. High fly ball. That'll stay in the ballpark, and the Braves come into St. Louis and sweep St. Louis.
The Cardinals battle back in this one, get within a run, have that 5 spot late in the 7th inning, but it wasn't enough. The Braves come in, show why they're in first place, and for the struggles that their bullpen has had, they were able to lock it down in this one. Disappointing series for the Birds.
It's off to the post-game show. Rick Horton is standing by with Jim Hayes. Missouri Lottery Cardinals live, 6-5 the final. Cardinals have dropped now 4 straight.